Hi everyone, this is Natasha. I wanted to share with you an organizational tip on these thin framed consecutive dies. They ordinarily come on a piece of cardboard and then you peel off the die as you need them because they have double-sided tape on them. I have found that sometimes, quite often, either the cardboard rips, something happens, and I had them loose in this little Smeed container. It's a little envelope. I'm pretty sure I picked this up around back to school time for maybe 50 cents, a quarter, something like that. They're really affordable. This particular one, it fits inside 7 7¼ the clear sheets that I have cut down to 7¼ by 5, and they fit most of the nesting dies. So what I have in that I'm organizing right now are all of my Sizzix nesting dies. So what I've done is the packaging that they came in, I saved and cut down to 7¼ by 5. And now I'm going to just add them on here. So what you'll need for this project is an envelope like this, which is easy to store, and it does have a gusset at the bottom and on the sides, so you have a bit of an expansion, and I'm hoping that all 6 of the nesting dies that I have from Sizzix will fit in here. So you'll need one of these little plastic envelopes. You'll also need a rotary cutter because regular paper cutter will not work on the plastic. You definitely need a rotary cutter. Then you'll need a labeler. Your preferred personal labeler. I have my brother one, so I can label the actual name of the die and who it's from. You'll need double-sided tape, and I'm using this 1/2" Scotch adhesive, but you can use whichever double-sided tape you want. And then because these corners can get a little sharp, I've also rounded them with the We Are Memory Keepers Crocodile in the 1/8 inch, but that's my personal preference. But I would definitely recommend rounding the corners so you can avoid any cuts, because if you get cut by sharp plastic edging, that is a nasty cut, so definitely have that. So let me show you next. I've sized all my little dies out, and I'll show you the next step. So I'm going to use this particular piece of acetate, and it's pretty thick. It's exterior packaging from these particular dies. I always save my exterior flat packaging for something for die cutting, and this is great for storage. So although you can't really see it, but this fits nicely on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with my double-sided tape, do a cross hatch and then see if that will take care of everything, or if I need to add another strip. So I'm going to start off with the largest one and then nest them inside each other. And these peel up really nicely off of the acetate. And the reason I chose acetate instead of paper, which you could certainly use paper, the benefit of the acetate is once you put one sheet of acetate next to each other in that little envelope, they do not stick to each other because the double-sided tape that's on one versus another is protected by the thickness of the die, so they don't stick next to each other. And with paper, they may stick. So here, I slide that in, and now I have these 2 in here. So I'm going to keep doing that with the rest of my dies, and I'll show you the next step of the labeling to make sure that I know which particular nesting die it is, as well as any codes that I might need to convey if I'm doing a project video and I share the use of a particular die. So as you can see, I have all of my nesting dies on, and I'll show you. When I tilt, you could see that the adhesive is beyond where the dies are on, so the easiest way to remove it is with your finger. There's enough oils in your hand where if you rub back and forth, you can remove any of the additional adhesive, which will prevent any sticking, or if you have this out on your work surface, any dust or paper pieces sticking to that. So it's as easy as that. See? Now that won't stick to any of the other pieces. So I'm going to do that to all of them, and then I'll have plenty of space to add my labels. So I've created all my labels, and I'm just going to put them, I think, on this edge because it's a consistent. I just lined them all up and they're all just about the same place. So this one's squares, and luckily these are the split apart labels, and I just chose to use a 3/8 inch black on white just to keep it easier. I have a lot of clear tapes in my P-Touch labelers, and I have 2 of them, but I think it'll just be easier to have the white ones on. And I got most of the sticky parts off. If there's anything that is still not coming off when you rub it with your fingers, obviously be less or be a little more judicious with adding the amount of tape. Double-sided tape, I might have gone a little overboard on some of them. So now you know, you can learn from my mistakes. So once I have them all added, I'll have a separate, and these are made. This particular die is made by Sizzix, but it's made for Stephanie Bernard. So I just put SB at the end because there's no code. There's no Sizzix code on it for these. And I just looked them up online. I didn't keep any of the paperwork that I had because, you know, these days it's just easy to look something up. So this is the last one that I have. That's the Sizzix one. And I also have an entire stash of Spellbinders dies that I could do the exact same thing too. So here's the circle. I'll keep the squares together and the heart. And now they can go into this little envelope and store away. I'll show you one more thing, that why I chose the clear acetate versus paper. Acetate is a lot more pliable. See, this is the one that I had way more adhesive on than I needed to. With cardboard, every time you go to bend, I always felt like I was bending the actual die, which you don't want to do. But this way, because it's acetate, it's easy to bend and it returns back to its original shape without a problem. Plus, you could reuse these. You know, let's say you have some small dies that you also have that are little hearts. You can add them on the rest of the sheet, which I actually do have a couple of small heart dies, which I might do. So I just thought this would be an easy way, or a cleaner, more concise way for me to organize my nesting dies. And there are envelopes like this that are larger. There's also full 8.5 by 11 sheet size, you know, if you need that, and you can certainly use that as well. But this is far more organized than having them all loose in there, because every time I would go in to use a particular size, I'd have to pull everything out because they start to tangle. And this way they're nice and sturdy, and they even stand up because of the gusset. So that's my quick little tip for today on how to organize nesting dies that are no longer sticking to the original card. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, don't forget to thumbs up. It's free for you and it helps me out. And stay tuned for more organizational videos of craft supplies, because you know I have a lot and I have a lot to organize. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.